today's number?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
Sup?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
In my mom's basement.
The slut hole. I mean, not your mom, the basement.
Well, this is the basement of the Thunderdome.
So what was the slut hole then?
I think it was an inside joke between my brother Greg Schmidt and I.
Oh, Schmidt.
Yeah, and my brother decided when we put the graffiti up all over this basement, we graffitied the shit out of the basement, and my brother's like, "All right, I'm gonna make something permanent on these walls." So he wrote "slut hole" in big letters over in the corner there.
That's the best thing I've ever seen besides "fuck the drug war."
Well, I'm with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I support slut hole as much as I support "fuck the drug war" and DMF, the Deathmatch Federation.
Well, I'm just surprised you guys knew my nickname before I even met you.
Yeah, we had yet to meet Mr. Sluthole himself, Ron.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Sluthole.
Hello, my name is Ron, a.k.a. Sluthole.
Truth comes out sometimes.
Welcome to SUPcast, episode 9. I'm here with Ron. You know Ron. Ron's the dude. Ron's my friend. We played music together for many, many years. And now we're in my mom's basement. We're in Dearborn, Michigan. And I'm in Michigan cleaning out my mother's basement.
Looks great. Looks absolutely great.
But it's been kind of heavy because we're going through a lot of stuff. We're finding photos of my mom and dad when they were still together, and they looked happy. And there's evidence of my potential as a reasonably smart child. And there's pictures of my brother playing baseball and my sister acting in the as Winnie the Pooh in the little musicals she used to do. It's like we're just drudging up a bunch of the past, and it's been kind of intense.
I can only imagine. Allie created a nice little thing there, though. Little thing for all the pictures.
Little shrine to the existence of all of us Pattersons.
To the good years, right?
There was good years.
There's always good years.
I don't know if there's good years, but there's good moments always, and there's bad moments. And, you just add them up together, and you decide whether or not that's a good year or not.
I'll tell you, from my experience, you could fit a shitload of fucking shit in 1 year. Good and bad. Yeah. And it seems like a fucking lifetime, man. Well, so those moments, I'll tell you.
Especially 2017 for me, it was just bad. And that's a year that just seemed to go on forever.
Never stops sometimes.
And then when it stopped and I had a chance to catch my breath, I was like, that was the worst year of my life. But things are more better now.
I'd say so.
Are things more better for you, dude?
Best they've ever been.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Happy as fuck, man. Which is very bizarre, it's just good things happen through bad things sometimes. And unfortunately, I've had a lot of bad things like any human being. And it's all on us to persevere past it.
You know what's weird about now is since things are so kind of chill, I told you, like when we first walked in here, I'm like, I think things are the best they've been in a while, but my brain is finding things to obsess about and to think that are bad. So instead of there being like catastrophic shit, like my mom getting 3 brain surgeries or my dad dying or, being in these crazy relationships back to back to back, driving across the country all the time, things are pretty chill. But I still in my brain, I'm like, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And you failed and you're at the end of your rope, Neil, you failed. But I'm not taking into consideration that I have more life to live,
Plenty. I used to think there was no life to live, man. Just a year ago, I used to think there was no tomorrow, and once that came into light that there is a tomorrow after coming so close to losing all of that, it makes every fucking single second mean something. And it's just the strangest feeling.
So is it that you didn't want there to be a tomorrow, or is it that you literally thought you were at the end of your life?
Like a bit of both, man.
Do you want to explain that for people that are listening?
Yeah. I was.
And if you don't want to, that's cool too. Anything goes.
No,
we can just sit around and talk about dicks the whole time.
Well, I'm all for dicks. You know that.
I'm all about them.
I'm all about them
dicks.
baby.
Them dicks.
When you go into post, put dicks, and then
Yeah.
echo.
Yeah.
You could do that, right?
What were we listening to the other day that we didn't realize there was a bunch of echo in? I don't know. Anyway,
Echo and the Bunnymen.
Echo and the Bunny. Wait.
Dicks.
Man, I'm gonna have to learn to do that now. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We can do anything in post.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to create more work.
No, this isn't work. This is pleasure. This is what we do for fun now. You know, this
Seems
is
pretty fun to me.
This is an activity to take up our time when we're not chasing money, because that's what life is about right now. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's about trying to get our shit together. Allie and I. We're trying to spend as little money as we can and make as much money as we can, and in the end, maybe we'll have some money tucked away when we decide what we're gonna do next. Which we don't know what we're gonna do next.
Well,
What are we gonna do next? Nobody knows.
what are you guys gonna do next? I thought you were asking her. Were you asking me?
I'm asking everybody.
Oh, what are we gonna do
What
next?
should we do next?
Create a plan, man, for a better tomorrow. First in yourself, and the rest will come into play.
I need to go back into therapy, but
Therapy's always wonderful. If
but-
if it helps people, man, fuck it. Helped me years ago. Helps me today sometimes.
so where were you a year ago, Ron, when you were like, this is it?
Year ago, well, physically, I'm in the same spot, which is the best spot I've ever been, at Big Head's house. It's a 9x9 apartment, and I got a room that overlooks the parking lot, and I have all my music equipment. I have my giant TV. I got a big old poster of boobs Don gave me. I got my incense sticks. But anyway, I was there. I'm happy. But the spot I was mentally was I wanted to die. I didn't want to be there. I lost my mom 5 years ago, which is this week's anniversary, 5 years. And I was divorced from a woman I was with for 14 years. And just everything kept coming into play where everything was bad, kept getting worse. And I just kept drinking, not taking care of my shit, getting more and more depressed, having more anxiety. Every day was worse than the first day before that. And I was just drinking. I brought up to a couple people. I asked them, and I don't know why I did, but I said, is it considered suicide to drink yourself to death knowingly? And I got the answer like, no, not really. I think that was me crying out for help, but I didn't care, I didn't care if I lived or died. And then one day I woke up with an incredible pain in my abdomen. I called Big Head to take me to the emergency room. They said, we'll see you. And they gave me 6 shots of morphine that did nothing. Absolutely didn't touch the pain. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't walk barely. And they gave me a CAT scan, and they said, everything's fucking inflamed. Your entire system, digestive system, is inflamed. We're going to put you in 1 level down from ICU. I forget what it's called. And they said, we're just going to put you on heavy antibiotics. We'll see what happens. We're going to break this fever, because my fever was spiking at 102, 104. And so they put me on heavy antibiotics for 4 days, no food, no water, nothing, just pain pills. Not pain pills, but like an injection of Demerol or some shit, something crazy. And they said I had something called diverticulitis. It's pockets that form in your colon, and it gets infected and creates inflammation. And in my case, it got so severe, even on the heaviest antibiotics I had, it ended up rupturing my sigmoid colon, causing me to go septic. They were going to let me go from the hospital after 4 days because my fever broke. And they said, okay, you can go, because I didn't have insurance at the time. And they just wanted me to fuck out of there. And it came back, thankfully, on the way Big Head was coming to pick me back up. The fever came back to 104. They said, something's wrong. They gave me another CAT scan, said, you fucking completely ruptured. You have to go in emergency surgery. 7 hours later, I wake up with a colostomy bag. Saved my fucking life. And my life changed from there. I felt something was given or taken from me that I can't explain. I still can't. Bobbin says it's enlightenment. And it's just, even before, when I was in the hospital and they said I'm going into an emergency surgery, I told Big Head, I said, I was bawling my eyes out. I said, I'd rather fucking die than have a bag. And he's like, you're just going to be for a month or two. I said, I don't fucking care, man. I just, I want to fucking die. He's like, you're just scared. I said, yeah, I'm right. They gave me a couple minutes. I came to accept it. That was it, but everything that happened after that has been nothing but good. I'm volunteering my time, speaking to people who have the same thing, who are going through it. I got my first speech October 6th. I'm talking at a group meeting. Just nothing but good things keep happening. As soon as I got that out of my head where I want to fucking die, nothing but good. I can't explain it. It's the strangest thing when people say, when you take care of yourself, good things will happen afterwards. And it's the absolute fucking truth. Because it's the first year of actually taking care of myself. And good things are happening. I mean, good things have always happened, but I was telling Big Head one day, man, I was just bawling my eyes out. And I was like, fuck, man, it feels like I've been abducted to aliens at a young age so they could test how much the human will can take without breaking. And it's a fucking weird thought. I know people have that thought every day, man, but it's just life. It's tests and lessons, man. It depends on us to get through it. And quit drinking, still smoke weed, because it's a fucking medicine.
It's medicine.
Wonderful fucking thing. But no, as soon as I got rid of that shit, man, negativity.
So when they were about to let you go from the hospital, it got worse after that.
Yep, my fever happened to break. They said sometimes that happens. It was a rare occurrence, but it happened. It broke for a couple hours. Then one of the nurses just gave me checked my temperature before the Big Head was going to come and get me, and I was back to 104.
So what would have happened if they would have actually let you go?
They said I would have died for sure. They gave me less than a 20% survival rate for how complicated the surgery was with as infected as it was. And this is just, I asked all the doctors, I said, why the fuck did this happen to me? They're like, I don't know. Is it in your family, your genes? I said, no, nobody's ever had any stomach issues. They're like, well, stress, diet, alcohol, these are all things that can factor, but none of these have proved anything to be why this happened. And I just made it a point to get all those fucking things out of my life, man.
Well, you definitely had gone through years with all of those things being pretty prominent.
Huge.
Yeah, because I was there with you when your mom got sick, and that was years of her battling cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were driving around with us doing the fucking...
I shouldn't have been on the road, man.
I
shouldn't have been out there.
Well,
in hindsight.
And in hindsight, too, I remember having a conversation with Norwood about... I just remember you wanted to be a part of it so bad, and we wanted you to be a part of it so bad that we didn't think to just tell you that we're going to get someone else so you could take care of your shit.
Yeah.
And it ended up causing a lot of problems because you were so worried about what's going on back here. And I get that now because I didn't get it at the time because I was so laser focused on this Downtown Brown rock band thing and on the opportunities that we had. I had yet to experience my mother getting sick. That happened a little bit later.
Thankfully, she's okay now, and she's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Great puppies.
Really, really lucky that they were able to fix the aneurysms in her head. And that's a whole story altogether, but that shit really put it into perspective because I didn't necessarily know what it's like having a sick parent and how that affects you. And all I was thinking about is this stupid fucking band that we had. And it's not that it was stupid. It's
Not
just,
at all.
It's just that there are things that are more important than playing music with your friends. And like, granted, it was a dream we shared, and we were gung-ho about it, and we wanted to tour as much as possible and make as much music as possible and put it out there. And there were opportunities happening for us. So it's like we wanted to do it together. But man, if I, like I said this on the last podcast, if I knew then what I know now, we would have just been like, Ron, dude, like we'll pick up where we left off after you take care of your mom, however long it takes. And instead of doing that, you were out on the road with us, and you were drinking, and I was being a dill hole, and we ended up getting in fights, and it ended up like blowing up instead of like us just being good friends to you and being like, take care of your shit. It ended up just fucking.
It also did help me though, being on the road. I gotta admit that, the worst part about me being on the road was my drinking got the better half of me. But being on the road was really good for getting around people who appreciated me, who had good things to say about my mom and all that shit. It was really nice and supportful. But that drinking, the drinking that comes around with, oh man, bad drinking and going through something like that on the road. I can't even imagine if we were a really popular band with money. Like, I'd probably be fucking dead if everybody's offering me drugs and shit. I'm just trying to zone out, Thankfully, it was only whiskey, and I would just fucking pass out. But, dude, what if somebody was giving me cocaine? Like, for bigger bands. Like, that's happened, People have to do that shit on the road.
Yeah, what's funny, we were always just a booze band. Booze and weed and occasional mushrooms and acid.
Yeah. Golden tip. African gold tip.
But it never really, we never really were a cocaine band.
I've never done cocaine once in my life.
Yeah, neither have I.
Fuck it.
Everyone I know has done a shitload of it.
And everybody I ask who's done it, they're like, I don't know why I do it. It's fucking stupid and get nothing out of it.
I've never done coke once, but I have eaten a bunch of Adderall, and I've eaten a bunch of Ritalin, and I've eaten a lot of over-the-counter diet pills. But yeah, never cocaine. I don't know. Does that make me not cool?
No.
Are we not cool, Ron?
I think we're just poor. I can't afford however fucking much it costs. I know people who've done it. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a lot of money.
Should you and I do cocaine for the first time together?
Okay. I got some. I got some on me.
Yeah, you got some.
I was lying the whole time, man.
We waited 35 plus years to do coke together. It was a pact that we formed in Northville High School, even though we didn't know it.
Fuck Northville kids.
Fuck Northville kids. Yeah, so we're in my mom's basement right now, and before my mom moved into this house, she was actually renting it to me and my college buddies, and we called it the Thunderdome.
Oh, it's thunder. There's thunder fucking right there.
Yeah, it says Thunderdome right there on the wall. But we made this basement like a party haven. Actually, Downtown Brown, the band, actually started in this corner right here in this basement. That's where our first show was.
That's where Bobbins is.
Yeah, but that's where Bobbins is buried. No, Bobbins is in sunny California right now.
Yeah, he is.
He's working his tush off.
Cute tush.
Yeah, it's tiny. He's got a tiny little tush. Yeah. Bobbins needs to eat more, man. The best part about Bobbins, he's like, I wouldn't eat if I didn't have to. He said that. Did he say that to you before?
Many times.
Yeah, he's like, eating, you gotta like chew, and it's like, I don't even like the way food tastes. It's like, I gotta do it to stay alive. I always thought that was funny about Bobbins. He's just like, he just doesn't give a shit about eating food. He would, if he had the choice, he wouldn't eat it at all. There's nothing tastes good to him. It's just fuel.
Hot dogs.
He's fucking over it. He doesn't like hot dogs. Remember when we got those pink hot dogs in Maine?
Oh, I'm never fucking gonna forget those fucking hot dogs. Just like hot dogs.
Yeah, hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Rest in peace. Anyone who's ever been to Hot Dogs in Chicago? Encased meats? But I remember we would always, at the tail end of the tour, we would always go to Hot Dogs because we always, like, Chicago was always on the tail end of every tour we did.
It was such a treat, even the hour and a half wait.
Yeah, we did wait in line quite some time.
Oh, man, every time we went, I think there was one time out of, like, the 4 or 5 times we went where we could walk in, and it was just because it was closing.
I can't believe it closed. I remember one time I saw, like, the drummer of Against Me, and I'm just like, hey, that guy knows about good encased meats.
He was there?
Yeah, he was there. You didn't notice him? I didn't point him out. You were there. The only time I ever went there was with you.
All I noticed was hot dog.
And Johnny Philly.
Oh, John in Philadelphia. Hello, Jonathan, Philadelphia.
He was the dude that was like, you guys like meat? You gotta check out hot dogs. And we at the time we liked the meat.
He's got one of the nicest voices, that Johnny Philly.
It's like raspy but soothing at the same
Very,
time.
very. You should do that.
He's got, but yeah, it's like he smoked too many cigarettes, but I don't even know if he smokes
I
cigarettes.
don't think he smokes.
I think it's just a naturally like warm, raspy thing he's got going on.
Very nice.
So this is what's nice about this podcast is I get to have longer conversations with my friends than I normally do, and people I don't really know that well. So it's like a forced. It's not forced, but it's like you have to engage. You know, no phones. We're engaged. I mean, you could look at your phone. It's just nice. This is a nice thing.
Nice.
I'm glad you're down here. I'm glad your life is going better. I'm glad positive things are happening to you. I'm glad you survived the diverticulitis hospital scare.
Me too.
I'm glad you're doing well, man. I'm glad I'm glad you're off the sauce.
Fuck the sauce, man. I'm glad you're doing good, man. You're looking great. You're doing great. You got a good woman on your side. You guys are doing good for your mama. I mean, that's beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Just a wonderful thing. You know, it's the little things, man. Everybody always concentrated on.
I'm gonna cheat in a little bit. What were you saying though?
Everybody always concentrated on, things. It's like, a fucking house, a car, a job, all that shit. It's those things are the things that don't fucking matter, man. It's the people, the connections, and around those people, what happens is what matters. All that other shit is just fucking cosmetic, man. I mean, it's good, but it's not necessary.
And experience and friendship and laughter, and I think you and I have had just a rich history of, especially the laughter.
Oh,
and,
those were the best parts of tours. Is because all those long rides with all the joints and all the labyrinth music.
yeah, just listening to music and laughing and talking about dumb shit. Remember, we did this music video and we drove to Chicago with our friend JP, and Murph, the guy that does all the videos for Psychostick, directed the video. And especially when JP's around, but like we just get around each other and riff and just say dumb stuff over and over again. And I just remember he looked at us, he said, "You guys sure like saying words."
I still say that to people.
And I thought that was like hilariously literal. It's like, yeah, but because what we'll do is we'll say, erroneous, thoronious, and I don't even know if those are words, but we'll just riff on something stupid until it's completely dead and smashed into the ground. Just saying words and making each other laugh just by saying dumb shit. And that's
case in point, Popa Chubby.
Yeah, Popa Chubby.
I mean, he's an incredible guitar player, but the name is just so wonderful. You can't stop saying it.
I actually think that dude's name is pronounced Papa Chubby.
Yeah.
Because PJ from the Lager House, one time he looked at our merch board and he goes, "Oh, you guys know Papa?" And I'm like, "Popa?"
Popa.
But we were at some venue. We were on tour with Fishbone, and there was this thing on the wall, and it was a promotional poster for a guy named Papa Chubby, but it's spelled Popa. So we just said, "Oh, Popa," and then for the entire tour, we ended up just going Popa, and then like Ron would be at the other end of the fucking like venue, and you'd go, "Oh, Popa," and then we go Popa Chubby.
It wouldn't stop.
Yeah, for like weeks.
I mean, we still do it.
Yeah. And that's why Murph was correct. We do like words and we like saying words.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, we'll take something like Popa Chubby and we'll just smash it into the ground.
What the fuck is a word anyway? Where do these fucking words come up? Like, orange and like chongo. Oh, Chongo. Yeah.
It's actually what's the song? It's Godzilla by BOC.
Aerosmith.
Oh, Chunga!
Jam's mom.
Chongo's a track star and I'm a little shit kid with Kiss makeup and he's gonna beat your fucking ass for them Kiss tickets, Chongo. That's how it goes.
Oh, I want to watch that movie now.
It's a fun movie.
I haven't watched it in ages.
So yeah. So what's up with? So you're making music with Donnie.
Making music with Don. Don, the old drummer of DTB, the band you got going.
And that's the title of that project is
DRON with Don, the old drummer from DTB, the band you got going on.
Man, I wish you're aware of how much of a deviant Don is, right?
No way, man.
I don't know if he's a deviant anymore. Is he still as wild as he was back in the day?
Nope.
No, he's elite.
He got a baby coming. Donnie, Katie, love you.
Daddy Donnie.
Daddy Donnie. They're naming it Chainsaw Maximum Foster.
I wonder if I got Donnie on here, if he would just tell all his debauchery stories.
I mean, he never has a problem telling me, but he's got a lot of family. He's got like 300 family members.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because this is public.
Mm-hmm.
We probably couldn't get too deep into that.
I mean, he's done nothing but just hug lollipops and like help old ladies across the street. He's never done anything that deviant.
Lately. Do you want to...
No, what? Lately, he's never done anything.
Are we allowed to tell the story about Macho Sledge on here, you think?
Macho Sledge.
Yeah, the hetero hammer.
Oh, I don't know if he'd appreciate that one.
Okay, we can't tell that story. Can we tell any Don stories on here?
Oh, there's this one time he joined a band called DRON, and he used to be the drummer of a band that you got going on.
So what's the name of the DRON release that came out recently? Is it 60 minutes of music?
69 minutes of music.
69? Is it actually 69 minutes of music?
No, it's about 24. It's 24 minutes of actual music. And then it was Big Head's brilliant idea to make another track for each track half speed, and then do another track where they're double speed, and do another track where they're all together. It's called Nord Dion, the last track on the record. It's called Nord Dion, and it's every single song played in reverse, playing at the same time. And it sounds like the opening of the gates of hell. Don said it's his favorite song on the album.
Okay, so it's every song on the album played backwards at the same time. Is the last track of the album.
Yeah.
Okay.
that song's called Nord Dion. It's really good. I mean, if you listen to it, you'd be like, whoa, dude. The first time I heard it, I was drinking a lot. And I was also smoking dabs. And I was at his house. And he played it for me. I was like, whoa. Yeah. And Don just told me he listened to it for like fucking 30 minutes the other day.
So,
like, it sounds like the devil.
So it's the length of one song.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes.
Okay, it's 4 minutes of every song on the album played backwards at the same time.
Yeah. Nord Dion.
And how would you describe DRON's sound?
But yeah, okay. What was I fucking talking about before? Somebody asked.
And Huglet's what she
Huglet. That's her old name.
Hewlett.
That's her old name.
What do you call her these days?
I call her Foster Hug sometimes.
Okay.
Usually Katie.
That's a good one. Oh, we got to get into also your ability to make nicknames.
Oh, is that an ability of mine?
That's an ability. It's a superpower of yours.
Really?
I don't know if you're aware of it. Yeah.
Wow.
But we'll go into that a little bit later.
Okay.
But how does Katie describe the sound of DRON?
Abrasive and snotty. Because I can't. Don's like, is it metal? Is it punk? What is it? You know, it's snotty. And what we have written, that was just like everything with music. It all depends on that point of your life. When we wrote that, I was really pissed off going through a divorce. And this record, the shit we just wrote, because Don just built a studio in his basement. Fucking state-of-the-art shit. Like, well, you know, not technology-wise yet, but everything else.
A nice soundproof room for you guys to make noise in.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I haven't been down there since he did the renovations, but
Oh yeah, it's completely different now. What we're doing now is completely different than what we were doing before.
yeah, because you're in a different. Well, it's just like with Ween's records, man. Like you could tell when they were on shitloads of drugs, and you could tell when Gina was going through a divorce. Like you can hear it in the music.
Same with Phil Collins, man. He's seen some shit.
Yeah.
You know what made me feel something I never felt before? When I first saw The Room, you know The Room with Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah.
So I was watching it. First time I saw it was about a year or two ago. And I just was laughing, you know. And then I watched the Disaster Artist, and that was fucking hilarious and a great movie too. And then I came downstairs and I was gonna smoke a joint, and then Big Head was watching The Room. And I watched the last 30 minutes with him. And then the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending, he was literally going through some fucking shit in his life. How fucking much he put on that last scene of how much the camera was on it and the whole story leading up to it. That motherfucker was going through some shit.
Yeah. Well, the way he portrays himself, Tommy Wiseau, is a caricature, but you know he's a real person under that.
Yep.
And in his own way, I think that was definitely a form of self-expression for him. He put everything. I mean, he put all of himself into that, making that film, and all of his money, wherever the money came from, nobody knows. But he's an enigma, and he became a living meme. But when you watch that, as cheesy and as weird as it is, I mean, that very well is an extension of him. People just laughed at it, but I think he just rolled with the laughter.
I laughed at it at first too, and then I rewatched it. Most of it's like a Skinamax movie, but like there's some deep fucking parts where, whoa, Tommy's going through some fucking shit when he directed this shit.
So when you're watching The Room, you get the same feels as like you're listening to, you know, Genesis, Man on the Corner type shit. Like when you listen to that song, yeah,
Philip's been through it all.
Phil's been through a lot. Phil Collins.
I love you, Philip.
I'm trying to. I was at the restaurant right by my mom's house, and there was a Genesis song that came on.
No matter what, dude, you go to a grocery store, 9 times out of the 10, you're gonna hear Phil Collins, either fucking his solo or Genesis. If you pay attention, because I go into a lot of grocery stores with my job to take piss, because my job's to pee on grocery store floors. But you always hear fucking Genesis and Phil Collins.
Every time I've been in the grocery store lately, I hear a track from the Safe Men soundtrack, which is a movie that has Steve Zahn and Paul Giamatti in it. That I talked to Jimmy Doom about in the last episode. But Safe Men, the Safe Men soundtrack.
That sounds familiar.
It's got a lot. It's got a lot of good music on it. The Safe Men soundtrack.
What year it come out?
Safe Men probably came out in like '99.
Oh, then I probably saw it.
We were watching it with Charlie DeCoster and Greg Schmidt.
Free Charlie.
Free Charlie.
Joey wanted to do that to cover, and I was like, he taught it to me like twice in the 8 years I was with the band. 8 years, was it? 7 years?
You joined the band in 2008. Yeah, it was the summer of 08.
Oh, the summer of 08. That's a good Billy Joel song.
It was the summer of 08 because I quit drinking shortly afterwards. I was still drinking when you joined the band, but it was only for a brief moment of time.
Oh, I remember when the one show we played where you got trashed, and I remember thinking to myself, if he keeps this up, I'm probably going to have to quit this band. Because we were watching that sober thing, Big Head and I was just like, yup. That picture where you were drinking that fucking Jack Daniels. Oh, man. I'm sure you got way drunker at that fucking Fishbone show, man.
So what was so you were me drinking Jack Daniels or whatever? What?
No, how drunk you got and just the decisions you made later that night. Because I was really coming from a band where all they did was drink.
Was that the Fishbone show at St. Andrews Hall?
Yeah.
Okay.
You quit after.
That was the last night I ever drank.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, oh,
you're
thank
like,
God he
you're
drank.
like, oh man, I don't know if I can stay in this band if this guy keeps drinking like this. Guy proceeds to quit drinking the next day. Well, it was a terrible, terrible night.
Yeah, it was,
and,
man. I felt really fucking bad. You seemed like you were really hurting.
Oh, I was hurting terribly. Oh, I was like super fat. I actually have photos of that. We're gonna put a photo up here of that. But the night before, I pissed my pants. I got so drunk, I fucking pissed myself. And I was in the vehicle of the Natives of the New Dawn, a band we were friends with. And that's where I got the nickname Neil Pee-Pee Pants, because I got so fucked up at the Fishbone show. They were opening up for Fishbone, and they just let me come in their van because I was such a huge Fishbone mark. They're like, let's bring this big fat drunk guy who loves Fishbone to embarrass himself in front of all the Fishbone guys. So they brought me, and lo and behold, Chris Zitterbart was there at Peabody's in Cleveland, and he fed me the 100 proof. What was it? What was the 100 proof? What's the rooster? What's the fucking rooster whiskey?
Old Dick.
No, it's not Old Dick.
Fuck.
It's got a rooster on it.
Fighting cock?
No.
Big Dick.
Anyway, it's 100 proof whiskey. It's 100 proof bourbon, and I forget what the fuck is Wild Turkey. It's not a rooster. It's a fucking turkey. Wild Turkey. 100 proof Wild Turkey. So there I am, and I just remember I cornered Norwood because I was afraid to talk to him when I was sober. In 2010, I met him, and I saw him through his sunglasses, and he looked really cool. But like, I'm like, okay, that was a little bit after I got sober.
He's very intimidating.
I was afraid to talk to him.
Me too.
But when I was fucking blacked out, I wasn't. I was just like,
oh, you ran right up those stairs into the room, dude. You.
So after the Natives and the New Dawn get done playing and Fishbone, and this is in Cleveland, yeah, they're like, okay, we're going to drive back to Detroit. And as they're driving back to Detroit, I wake up, and they're like, Neil, we're here. And I'm covered in my own piss, and I pissed all over their van. And they call me Neil Pee-Pee Pants. And the next day, we're playing St. Andrews Hall, downtown Brown. And the Natives of the New Dawn, and we're both opening up for Fishbone. And there's Ron. And yeah, you ended up driving the van that night because I got so loaded.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
You drove the van back here. And my girlfriend at the time was so mad at me because I was such a drunk mess that she decided to get blackout drunk and then drive her car the night before Thanksgiving all the way from my mom's house, where we're sitting right now in Dearborn, to where her parents lived in Brighton, Michigan, which is a good 45 minutes away. So 45 minutes of highway driving the night before Thanksgiving. She was loaded. She left her cell phone, her purse. She left all of her belongings in the cab that she took from St. Andrews Hall to get to her car at my mom's house. And the best part about it is when I called the cab, I got the number of the cab, and I'm like,
I remember.
I'm like, do you have my girlfriend's stuff? And the first thing the guy says, he says, oh, that girl shouldn't drink. She's fucking crazy. And I'm just like, well, do you have her stuff? He's like, yeah, she's really pissed at you, man. She's really pissed at you. And I just remember being like, oh, God. So, and the next day, this is the best part. I got the DTs. My hands are shaking because I'm coming down from like a 2-day blackout bender, essentially. And I'm sitting there at Thanksgiving with all of her parents. And, you know, I'm just a sweaty fucking fat mess, just drunk, coming off of alcohol, and my hands are shaking. My hands won't stop shaking. I can't stop sweating. And I had a glass of red wine for Thanksgiving with her parents, and that was the last time I ever had a drink.
Did that stop your hands shaking? That
Yeah.
glass? It did?
Well, yeah. Have you ever had the shakes?
No, I never had them.
Yeah, if you have the shakes, the only cure for it is more booze.
Maybe I never had the shakes because I was just always fucking drinking.
Well, that's the thing is when we were on tour and whatnot, I remember you'd crack beers. Like we wake up and crack beers. And it
was like my favorite fucking thing to do.
Yeah, breakfast beers are the best. A part of me misses that, man. But a part of me also doesn't miss it because I know what it was like living like that.
Well, my whole thing was I like that moment. Like I miss that moment of doing it. But then I remember 2 hours later where it feels like I haven't drank water for 3 days. And then like, oh man, why did I have 3 fucking beers?
3 tall boys.
3 tall, those natty daddies, baby.
Natty daddies.
Whew. 3 for $3 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
25 ounces a piece, 8.1%. Why would they do that?
If you're buying the right kind of booze, it's really not that expensive to stay fucked up.
You can stay fucked. I was hungover for a year and a half when my mom was going through it all, man. For a year and a half straight, I just kept getting fucking blackout drunk. That's why you shouldn't drink when you're fucking hurting. Best thing to do. I'm sure you know it. It was worse when you were drinking when you were going through your shit than it is when you're not fucking drinking.
Do you remember when we were hanging out with Kenny down in North Carolina and we all did drugs and we were at that pool, and we were like, there was all those college kids there.
No, that wasn't me. That was you. You and Don have told me that story.
No, Harry Bob was
Yep,
in
that
the
was
band.
him.
You weren't okay. You weren't there.
No,
well, yeah,
I wanted. I know the side of Don's, and it was pretty fucking extraordinary.
Well, Don's a legend for what happened that day. But me, on the other hand, I remember calling the same girlfriend that I had that we just were talking about, and like I've talked about this on the podcast before. I had a conversation with her, and the next day she told me, you were talking about killing yourself. And in my mind, I'm having punk rock adventures. You know, I'm with Kenny. He's naked and he's
Kenny is
peeing in
great.
bottles,
I love Kenny.
and we're on a trampoline, and Jeff and we're all on drugs, and everything's super dirty, and I'm looking at my hands at the Sheets bathroom, and they're just covered in dirt, and I'm on a bunch of acid, and I'm super blackout drunk at the same time. So I only remember bits and pieces of that. But yeah, but if you're hurting, you could even think you're having a good time. And that's the thing too. And that's when I noticed that when you were going hard, it's like you were having a good time in a way, because
I was turning that part off that was hurting.
Well,
that was hurting me even more.
But you were partying with people, talking to people. You're just a social butterfly. You would at shows, you would talk to people about their fucking dogs or about their job, you would sit and talk to the same person for literally an hour and a half.
I still do that without alcohol.
Right. But so I could see where in a lot of people's eyes, when they met you, they're just like, this is a jolly, happy dude. But when
I was just trying to forget, man.
At the end of the night, when you were in that captain seat and you were like passed out, and like I could see myself in you, like when I was fucking doing my best to turn it all off. I was like that's where Ron's at, and that's why I never.
You said things to me, but I always well, fuck him, man. He's the one with the fucking problem. I don't have a fucking problem. I'm just trying to fucking get through my hard fucking shit. But you know what? I was just creating more problems. And by drinking for myself, for others around me, I should have listened to you.
Well,
in all reality.
And when I talked to Norwood about it, like Norwood has been through similar things like that. And he just said, it's like, he's not going to listen to you.
Nope.
Because
there's no fucking way I would have listened to anyone. I wasn't listening to my ex-wife. I wasn't listening to my fucking mom. That was my addiction. That was like, fuck all of them, man. This is the thing that's helping me.
I got so drunk on stage at the Magic Stick, I forgot how to play the guitar, and my mom was at that show. Yeah, and she walked out, and she told me the next day, she's like, Neil, I've never been so disappointed in you in my entire life. And, well, that was before you joined the band. That was right around the time Rob had just had enough of my antics. We had just got booted from the Warped Tour for our drunk antics. And then we had this big write-up in the weekly, and they're like, these guys are the real deal. They just got booted from the Warped Tour, the band 2 fucking punk rock for Warped Tour. And then I get on stage, and I get so blacked out that I literally forgot how to play my instrument.
Oh. That's bad. I didn't know that part.
The thing about you, Ron, is no matter how fucked up, like, and this is
that was the worst thing for me.
It was the worst and best part. But no, like, this is the thing. No matter, and I don't want to encourage you to start drinking again.
I'm never gonna start.
Okay,
drinking.
so don't take this as encouragement. But no matter how fucked up on whiskey, Ron could barely fucking talk to people. You could barely string a sentence together, and then you would get up on stage and you would fucking play flawless bass. And if you listen to the fucking Hot Part record, you were fucking drunk as fuck.
Was I?
Yes. You don't remember that?
No, I don't. So I probably was really
well
drunk.
In 2015, because your mom had already passed, and in 2015, like,
was that when I was in front of Carmanos?
Yeah, the Magic Stick is right behind the Magic Stick is Carmanos, and that's the hospital where your mom was sick. And
I just went out with a lovely lady the other night, and we went to a spot in Detroit, and we sat right there in my spot, faced Carmanos. It was lit up right there. 3.5 hours I sat there, no fucking problem.
Well, that's what time will do.
Time is a wonderful thing, and I never fucking believe that. It's so, because it always seems so cliche that time heals all wounds, but fucking hey, is that shit right?
Yeah, because, well, and that's the thing, is because it was fresh. Like when we did the Hot Part record.
Oh, I was bawling my eyes out in that fucking van before we played.
But what I was going to say about like listening back and actually the mixing of that record, the only thing we had to change on your end is we had to turn down your fucking vocals in the mix and cut out some of your vocals, because anytime your face got close to the microphone, you just went but your bass playing was fine. We didn't have to edit anything. Like, we didn't have to redo anything. Your bass playing sounded fine. But every time your face got close to the mic, you're just like, and then like you gave some speech and you said, we got to play it on the podcast. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. It's, you know, I'm going to go home and I'm going to kill myself in a warm bath listening to Seal. I forget. It was.
Yeah, I remember that part. Man, yeah, I was pretty fucking depressed, man.
Yeah, but that was just, yeah, you got on the mic and it was just totally incoherent and hilarious and weird, but you were fucking loaded, but your bass playing was fine.
Well, as long as you put up a jolly face and, you know, you play your instrument and you smile, everybody just encourages it, but nobody says, "Are you fucking hurting? Is there a reason why you're self-destructing on stage?"
Well, that's the other thing too, is that I don't think anyone noticed about that little speech. It's like, to me, I listen to it and it's one of the funniest parts of the entire album. But also, like, everything you were talking about is like thinly veiled suicidal thoughts. For real.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think anyone that listens to that record can, like, even picks up on that. And
it's a strange thing. I've been thinking about that lately.
Yeah, because if you joke around enough, you can say anything and people will think you're fucking joking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we did when we were in the band. That all, like, everything we did was like, there was so much heavy sarcasm in everything we said. That
it was unbelievable.
It was like the whole boy cries wolf thing. Is if, like, if you're always fucking joking around, when you actually are being sort of serious, no one even notices.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very fucking bizarre, man.
You guys still with us? We got a few more. Hey, wait a second. Wait a fucking second. I just want to fucking tell you something.
So, I just want to thank these two guys for giving me the best years of my life, Nebo and Bobbins. And after the show, I'm going to kill myself in a war bed, listening to Seal, looking at a picture of my great uncle sitting in the bathtub, slitting his wrist. So it was a beautiful night, you know. Roses are red. My uncle's dead. He's in the bathtub, slitting his wrist. You all are hot part. You're hot part.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ron.
God, look at this. There was times. Fuck, one of the last shows we played Spanky's with Danielle. Great woman. But we were playing there.
Down in Ohio.
Yeah.
I barely remember that.
Yeah, that was like one of the last shows I did. And I just remember 1 second I was at the bar having fun with somebody talking about dicks most likely. And the next second I'm at the table right behind the bar with Bobbins. And I just started fucking crying in front of everybody. I just lost it.
Man.
That was like the last show. I'm pretty sure it was the last show. That was after we played, and I just kept doing fucking doubles, man. It was bad. Fucking doubles of whiskey. Oh. There's no easier thing to turn the brain off than whiskey, I think. Unless, I've never done fucking heroin or nothing.
Yeah, I was about to say like heroin or Oxycontin probably turn your brain off.
Readily available.
Right.
When
Oh,
I was
yeah,
living
yeah.
in Taylor, dude, I had fucking 8 liquor stores, grocery stores. Everybody sold liquor and fucking $1 natty daddies. I was surrounded. Absolutely surrounded. That's a bad fucking situation to put people in, man.
So I got a question. When my mom fell down the stairs, she like broke her arm and she busted a bunch of ribs. She like bruised a bunch of ribs, cracked a bunch of ribs. But the thing is, is when she was hospitalized for that, they did a bunch of CAT scans on her head, CT scans on her head, and that's when they found the aneurysm. So basically, when she fell down the stairs, saving my little nephew took a swan dive from the top stair, and my mom caught my nephew, saved his life.
Remember.
But she busted her ass. But in doing that, she saved her own life because they found all of these aneurysms, and then they eventually had to get rid of the aneurysms, and my mom's still kicking. She's been beat the fuck, hip replacement surgery, 2 torn rotator cuffs, broken arm, busted ribs, 3 big aneurysms in her brain, and she's still alive, 71, still kicking. She's a fucking tank.
She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. I love her.
But my question to you is, do you feel like what happened with the diverticulitis and you getting hospitalized for that, do you feel like that saved your life?
Absolutely. I got out and I was like, I can't fucking believe that I thought that, you know, just a fucking bag. Why would I care about that? It's daunting because it's a new way, you know, you use your body. You now have a body, one of your organs, it seems, in a different part of your body, because that's what it is. And it was literally 7 hours you wake up with it. But then I just look at it, I'm like, man, this fucking thing saved my fucking life. And I talked to...
But as far as the alcohol is concerned, do you?
No, absolutely. Like with your mom, you know, good things happen from bad things, man. There's no fucking answer. There's no answer why things happen, because bad things are always going to happen, but good things are always going to happen too. And there's no answer, you know, that you just got to take that shit. Fucking thought. Some people, that bad things happen and they just keep letting it spiral down, and I got that way, and I was on that path, and I was like, nothing's stopping me from drinking. I keep drinking. Why not fucking keep doing it? What do I gotta lose? I don't fucking care if I wake up from it. And it got that real, and it got to a point to where I'm not sure if it was the drinking, but I'm sure it contributed to it.
Right.
But it got to that point, and I just woke up and I had fuck, man, I just had 8 months the other day, and I went to a bar and ordered bangers and smash and visited my friend, and just to prove to myself I could do it, you know? Like,
yeah, we just talked to Jimmy Doom, and he's been sober for about 3 years, and he used to be real bad, like half gallon a day.
Ugh.
And he's a bartender. That's what he does. It's what he does. And get this, the story that he told, which is fucking crazy. Like after he... what's it called when you detox? He detoxed himself, and the way he explained it, he had to keep sugar and water in his body, and then he just puked and sweated it out. And right after he got out of detox, he had to go fucking work a bartending shift.
Oh,
so that's his entrance into sobriety. And it just blows my fucking mind, because it took me a while to be able to have the courage to be around it again.
but you did it too, man. You did it.
I didn't get
almost immediately.
I didn't get.
You go to bars.
I didn't get behind the bar and was pouring alcohol all over
You know how many
myself.
people offer you alcohol for free when you're trying to get off of it? Like,
Yeah.
you went right into it, man. You didn't like take a break. You still do it. And that's why I was talking to my other buddy who quit drinking. You're a main inspiration for me quitting to drink, and him.
Wow.
I was like, if this motherfucker can do it, you know, I can do it too. And he thought the same thing. He said I'm not going to name him, but he said he had an experience where he got all fucked up, and you ended up like holding his head as he puked by the end of the night.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, so I know this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I've held some men's heads, yes. Well, good.
As actually, you know, alcoholic, you know how it is, you know.
Well, yeah, and that's why, and you know, I might have fucking been a dick when I was trying to when I was trying to talk to you.
Well, of course, we don't know how to talk. You were also mad at me too, so those emotions got mixed up.
Well, I might have, you know,
I did the same thing, man.
in hindsight, I saw my friend was hurting, and I just, man, I didn't. It was tough to see you, but then again, I didn't know what you were going through until later. So the whole thing was just fucky, man.
It was a weird situation, but you know, that's part of being in a band. Like, that shit happens. That's just part of it.
We're brothers, and I was telling Allie that when my friends Jim and Noah came over last night, I was like, "Those are my brothers." Like and that's the one thing I have out here in the Midwest that I don't really have out west. I have some friends out west. I have a lot of acquaintances. The only person I would consider a brother that I have is Greg Schmidt.
Oh, he's a wonderful fella.
You know, but I don't even see that motherfucker, man. He has a good job. He's got his own office. You know, he's trying to have a kid. Like, but that's my brother, man. And you're my brother.
You're my brother too, man. I love
And
you.
fucking Bobbins is my brother, dude.
I wish I saw him more. You know, he's literally like my little brother, and he's working fucking so much.
He's grown up a lot too.
Very much.
I was telling Allie about the first tour we ever did with him and how he was he was like so
very sensitive to
he
the
was
world.
really insecure about the way he looked and the way
world is
people
scary.
perceived him, and the guy's just really sure of himself these days.
Oh man, it's that confidence, baby. I said, Bob, as soon as you got that confidence in yourself, everything will happen, and it did. Because he used to be like, man, I don't think I could fucking do this shit. I said, what are you talking about? You know how to do what you're doing.
Well, I had the chance to work with his roommate a couple days, and he's like that fucking Rob. He calls him Rob. I don't know who the fuck Rob is. I only know a Bobbins. He says that motherfucker's the hardest working dude I've ever met.
I've never met a harder worker.
Yeah, he needs to take a break. Bobbins,
He's taking a break.
if you can hear us, take a fucking break, dude.
He's taking one.
Let's go paddleboarding, man. I take lots of breaks, dude. I'm taking things kind of easy these days. I work, but I don't work as hard.
It sucks, you know, that he works so much that he can't hang out with you, and you guys are so fucking close. I would take full advantage.
The thing is about Southern California is you could, like, we might live a close amount of miles away from each other, but once you factor in traffic, nothing's close. Nothing's close.
Yeah, he said it took like fucking 3 hours or something to go like 8 miles.
Yeah, it's gross. It's too many.
I don't know. Like I drive for a living. I don't know if I can handle it.
It's too many fucking people.
I still have fucking panic attacks since we fucking flip that van sometimes when I'm driving in the winter.
Oh, we told the story about that on the podcast too. We've gone into some shit, but it's weird. It's weird having you here, yeah, because like now there's a face to the story. Here's Ron. My name is Neil or Nebo. Ron came up with that nickname, Nebo. Ron came up with Bobbins. Ron came up with Little Donnie.
Did I?
Yeah, but he wasn't. Well, what happened is when we did that show as the Chad Pizzolini, the Gene Parmesan Trio.
Gene Parmesan Trio from Arrested Development.
And I was Chad Pizzolini. Was Don Gene Parmesan?
Mm-hmm.
What were you?
Probably just Ron.
Somehow Ron and Don became a thing. Yeah, because
Don started calling me. He goes, "Hey, Ronnie Salami, how you doing?" I said, "Donnie Pastrami."
Oh, that's how it started.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it just got short to Ron and Don, and that's where DRON is. And then subliminally, one day I was talking to my ex-wife, and I sat there because Don and I, we didn't have a band name yet. And Harry Bob, with his new band, El Yeah Dead, he asked us to play a show, and we didn't have any music. He said, "Well, you got 2 months, you know, make a set list." We said, "Okay." And so we made it, and we didn't have a name though. And I was just sitting there. I said, "Fucking DRON!" I just screamed it. And we both started laughing our asses off. And fucking about a month or two later, I put it online, and then somebody goes, "Oh, that was a really good fucking Party Down episode." I said, "What?" I said, "Oh shit!" And I rewatched it, and it's the high school episode where it's the fucking, I forget the actor's name, but both of their names are Ron and Don. And the high school reunion, he comes back and he's like, "I'm back to fucking party, Ron. Don's here. Fucking DRON." And subliminally, I stole it from the show.
Next move?
Yeah, I mean, for your life.
This is my life.
Wow, because you were a fan of that show. You're a fan of that show, right? Party Down?
Huge fan of that.
Party Down's great.
Yeah, it's
Greg Schmidt told me about that show. He's like, "I think you'd like the show, Party Down."
It's awesome.
Yeah, a television show about caterers in LA.
It's wonderful.
I was a caterer for 10 years in Southeast Michigan. Crunk's Catering.
Crunk.
I'm trying to think of what other nicknames you came up with. Dick Sally? Or Dick Sally already, he made that up on his own.
I don't think I can't think of too many I came up with, man.
You came up with a lot of Nebulous Royce. That's not a person, though. What is a Nebulos
That's an
roast?
album,
That's an
homie.
album.
It's the newest hit record, man.
I wish we could do this for. I wish we could like talk for 2 hours. You know? Yeah, I know. We're already at 1 hour. That's how quickly this shit goes by. You start rapping with someone. The only time it goes by slow since I started doing this podcast is when you're with someone that doesn't talk a whole lot or someone you don't know that well. So it's only happened like a half, maybe like one time.
And what do you guys just look at each other or you touch?
Well, when I interviewed HR, he's a pretty soft-spoken guy.
Boy, I watched that fucking interview, or not interview, but documentary on him, Finding Joseph.
Yeah, Finding Joseph, yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I got Don and I wanted to come see you guys play with him, but we were just too fucking busy writing.
That's
and then
cool.
one of the main reasons I wanted to come was to see HR, you know, just to see him because we saw him that one time with Fishbone, and I don't think he had his guitar plugged in at that point, but
he was real sick then.
yeah, that's what I got from the interview.
Because the end of that documentary, it ended right around the time we were on tour with Fishbone,
With the
2012. Yeah, when he was wearing the wig and the cowboy hat and all that stuff, he was still undiagnosed, unmedicated, and now he's taking medication for his. I don't know if he's schizophrenic or bipolar. I don't know exactly what, but I mean he's had. It explains in the documentary he's wrestled all these demons as his whole adult life, and the older he got, the more intense the visions and the different personalities would come out, and he would speak in different accents, and he, you know. He's the sweetest, one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my entire life. And so
fucking documentary.
So thankful for literally everything. He's thankful for
the thing that really stuck out to me that really made me want to watch him when you guys played with him. Not only watch him, but watch you, you know, you and Phil. And who was playing that time on bass?
Durs.
Yeah, fucking Durs. I haven't seen him forever, but
Durs did the last 5 shows.
He's incredible, dude. But the thing that stuck out on the doc was when they got their first paycheck, their advance, he went out and got just a single room where he had his Bible, and then he bought a fucking stretch limousine.
Yeah.
I think that's like the best fucking shit. I was like, yeah, man, you know, disease or not, he fucking enjoyed it. Well, and he got something that made him happy, and you know, it's just things. He sees that, you know, it's just fucking things. He didn't need a big fucking fancy place. He just got something to live in.
We stayed at Trey's house in St. Louis, and with HR.
Wow.
And so HR, he just walks up to Trey, and the first thing he says is, "Thank you so much for letting me stay here." You know, he wasn't
Trade out.
He wasn't bitching about I don't want to stay in someone's house. He had a soft place to rest his head, and that's all that matters to HR.
That's all that fucking matters.
That's all that matters. Period. But it's nice to. It's nice when you meet someone that's of legendary status that still is so humble that he literally will, like when we're driving around in the van, he just looks over and he'll like put his hand on you and just say thank you, just out of nowhere.
Wonderful.
And you know, I explained this to someone I used to date. She said she didn't believe in saying thank you for anything. And well, she had a rough experience, I guess, when she was growing up because she had a tyrannical, like father type figure that made her say thank you, and so it left a bad taste in her mouth. So I mean, but I tell people all the time, thank you goes a long way.
Oh man!
And if you say thank you, and if you're genuinely thankful for the stuff that people do, and you let them know it, that goes a long way. Thank you goes a fucking long way. I say thank you all the time. I end every single fucking email I send with a thank you.
Oh hell yeah!
Like
everything,
and for
and have a great day too. Because you got to remind people.
It goes a long way, and people notice that shit. If you're just like if you're real short with people, and you don't say please, and you don't say thank you, and you don't acknowledge that they're a human being, I mean that puts people off.
Well, you know, my job, you know, I work and I see my clients, and there's some of them are very, very fucking rich, and some of them, when you say hello, they don't look at you, or when you say thanks, have a good day, they just look at you and close the door. And all I think is, man, what the fuck? That's like gotta be like the worst thing to not say thank you to somebody, that you're obligated in your head not to say thank you. Like, you gotta be going through something like that fucking sucks in your head. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you say thank you to somebody who's helping you or doing a service?
I think there's a group of people out there that honestly think they're better than other humans. Like the other humans are lower, and and we're the type of people, the working class people that are doing shit for the people that have the money. But then again, I mean, I have seen examples. Like, I remember when we were working, we were doing the stagehand shit for Tim McGraw at DTE, and Tim McGraw, like, before he walked out of the venue, he looked at the entire crew and he waved and he said, "I just want to thank each and every one of you for all of your hard work tonight.
They make the show.
He said, you guys are what makes this show happen."
Yeah.
And that meant a lot. So it's like,
Fucking awesome.
you talk all the shit you want about Tim McGraw. The fact is, like, I busted my ass, like, carrying shit out of his giant trailers, and he said thank you to me, and I got paid as well. So thank you goes a long way, bro. Thank you, Tim McGraw, for noticing the local Detroit stagehand guys.
Thanks for saying thanks to me.
Thanks for saying thanks, Tim McGraw. It goes a long way.
Appreciate it.
Fucking goes a long way.
I agree, but some people just don't understand that shit.
Well, it's just sad that, because eventually all those rich ass people that aren't saying thank you to you for you helping them out, they're gonna end up in the same spot that we are, and that's fucking, like, we're all gonna be dead one day. And that's the great equalizer, man. The great equalizer is the fact that, like, no matter how rich you are, you're gonna end up fucking worm food.
Well, I just had that happen to me the other day at a client. They got it's got to be at least an $8 million home, and they have a gate that's magnetized that has to have a code. I have to knock on the door when I start and knock on the door when I end so they can turn this magnet off. I've never seen anything like, it's fucking really secure.
High tech.
And I came there after the housemaid was there. It was 5 o'clock and they were all upset about it. But I'm like, oh, the gate magnet, it's closed. Can somebody please open it? And the son comes. He's like, yeah. And he was all like a dickhead. And he looks at me and he covers it and shit. And he does the password. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to come into your fucking house.
How old was this guy?
He was like 14 or 15. But
he's a young teen.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. I was like, I didn't feel bad for the fucking parents. I felt bad for that kid for the way the fucking parents are teaching him how he's fucking better than the person who fucking works in his backyard. Like, he has a whole world of shit coming to him. It might not be a money issue, but boy, if you think that money just gonna buy you everything, you're gonna be fucking humbled real quick. That shit is gonna, I mean, I just felt bad for him. I was like, dude, I've never treated anybody like that in my life. Yeah, it's
just a shame because that behavior, it perpetuates. Like, it's rich people that think they're better than people. They raise rich kids that think they're better than people. And and they get in rich cars and yeah. But you know what? We got that they don't.
Wild turkey.
We have bottles of wild turkey just in our guts, and the confidence to tell them, you know what? You may have more money than me, but yeah.
No, I got a promotion. I actually make about 1.2 mil a year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm making, what's crazy is I'm making, like, I'm above the poverty line for the first time in like a decade.
Oh, good for you, man.
Yeah, it's weird having a job.
Jobs are good.
I was always like, I'm gonna make music be my job, and then once I actually had a different form of income and I didn't have to depend on music for me to survive, I was like, wow, music can just be a fun thing I do.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a job.
I didn't have to put all that pressure on myself.
I mean, when you start making it a job, it starts to sound like a job.
Well, you start to hate it a little bit. Now I just do, I don't know, I do music. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I have an enjoyable time when I do it. And when I'm not doing music, I'm talking to people on a microphone. It's weird.
I usually just talk to myself in the bedroom.
Yeah, yeah, what do you say?
Hey, how you doing, Ryan? I know you want gummy bears, but you can't do it because you're trying to fix your teeth. And I know Haribo Golden Bears are very delicious, but you got to do things right. You can't fuck them up no more.
Do you remember that scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off where at the very end Rooney's on the bus and he's all beat up?
Oh, that makes me want gummy bears
And
every time.
The chick is like, "Hey, you want some gummy bears? They've been in my pocket all day, so they're nice and warm."
I want them so bad.
Yeah, that made you actually want gummy bears
Every time I see it.
Okay, because Allie and we were at this fucking thing because I was playing with HR and we were at this thing like Fred Armisen was there and we kept making this joke because we're like afraid to talk to these super famous people. Dude, I saw Bob Odenkirk there. It was weird. Yeah, but we didn't say anything. We just lurked in the background. And then so the ongoing joke of the day was just like going, "Hey, Fred Armisen, would you like some gummy bears? They've been in my pocket all day, so they're nice and warm." And then when I actually did meet Fred Armisen, the edibles had just kicked in. And I was like, so like, why didn't Riot Spray play this gig? And he looked at me, he's like, "I don't know, we still might." And I'm just like, "You're really great." And then I was really awkward. I was super stoned. But I actually said hi to Fred Armisen.
You should have added the gummy bears. I wonder if he'd riff off you or just thought you were some weirdo.
Well, I don't know. I was too high to say anything funny or to even stick to something like that. I should have done the gummy bear thing, but that was the whole joke. We saw the bass player for No Doubt. We're like, "Hey,
Tony?
Yeah, hey Tony, would you like some gummy bears?"
He's one of the reasons I never listened to No Doubt. Nothing against him, I just never did. But when I was growing up, he's one of the reasons why I got a Yamaha bass. Was Tony
Canal?
Yeah.
So why?
The Yamaha, because he's got a fucking incredible tone, man. Tony.
Yeah, Jack likes Tony's bass playing.
Oh, he's really good playing. But
he aged really well too. We were looking at him, we're like, he looks just like he did in the 90s.
He's always been fly.
So we went, it's funny. We go to this fucking Hollywood fundraiser party, and all Allie and I did is just lurk in the shadows and stare at famous people.
On high on the weeds. What kind of edibles are they?
They're called Cushy Punch.
Yeah.
Do you know about the Cushy Punch?
How strong are they?
Pretty strong.
How many milligrams?
I was on maybe like 10 milligrams, but I'm a lightweight. Yeah.
10?
Yeah.
Wow.
10 will get me. Why?
Damn.
Are you like a 50, 100
guy?
That
makes me feel like a fucking meth head or something.
Well,
for how much I eat.
Yeah. How many milligrams do you eat?
5.
No, seriously. To get like a healthy buzz from cannabis, how many milligrams do you eat? Like 50?
I couldn't afford that shit.
It's expensive.
50 milligrams?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, because, the whole...
I guess it's not that much. Around 80 or 90. If I want to just catch a buzz, about 180.
So do you drink
high.
the drink or do you eat the gummies?
I do Rick Simpson oil.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a whole different story altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they put it in a syringe so it makes you feel dirty. But it's just weed. It's just and it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Yeah, all you need is a little thimble of it. You take a little more than that. Yeah. When I had the Rick Simpson oil, it comes in a syringe, and all I did is put a little thimble on my finger and eat it, and I was high for like fucking ever.
Oh, I took at least 6 grains of rice before I came here.
Oh wow, okay.
That's what I take twice a day.
Well, if that's your tolerance, man, that's your tolerance.
I mean, I use it more medicinally.
Well, because your stomach hurts.
No, my stomach doesn't hurt. That pain's gone.
But it does it help with the symptoms? Like, there
are no symptoms.
There aren't any ongoing symptoms.
No.
Hey, Noah.
Hi, Noah. How you doing?
We're doing a podcast.
I like your shirt. I like that. Unbowied.
DOA. Unbowied.
DOA.
Joey shithead took off his. Well, we could talk. Ron, you
guys got to go to the punk rock. What do you call it?
We're gonna wrap this up, but Ron, we should do this again around Christmas because we could talk forever.
Let's do it, man. We should fucking jam next time you come here, motherfucker.
Let's do it.
Just me and you. You can do whatever you want to do.
We just need someone to beatbox, and then we'll just be like fart boxing. That's what we do.
He's just doing it. Fart boxing. Well, I love you, Nebo.
I love you too, man. Ronnie, kiss me, Ronnie.
I can feel your beard all over my. Ah,
You
no.
think it's nice? Do you like this?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I
Sorry.
like it.
Sorry, I know.
Yeah, I like
know,
it. You have nice. Are those boots or those shoes?
They're boot shoes.
Are they? Do they have a toe? No. You don't wear those at work. You have your own.
Hey, hang on. That's another thing that's
Those are
happened.
good.
I've been into shoes lately.
Yeah, you've been okay. Treating yourself.
I
Treat
never-
yourself.
When I was in DTB, I couldn't afford clothes, so I always looked homeless. So it's nice to wear clothes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you're looking good, man. You're taking care of yourself. You're on the Rick Simpson oil. You're fucking off
the
the
Nas.
booze. Yeah, and you're on the Nas. Be careful with those, man. I used to drink 3 of those a day.
No, I drink it just for tonight, so I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I did a lot of Rick Simpson.
Well, I noticed when
makes you
I'm
sleep.
on edibles, yeah, sometimes I have to drink a couple coffees just to like maintain.
Not everything in this world is a perfect balance.
No, sometimes things bring you down. You need something to bring you back up. Well, is there anything you want to say to anyone that might be watching this, Ron, before we go?
I love you.
Yeah. And where can we find DRON online?
Oh, jeez.
Is it Bandcamp or is it?
Well, no, we don't have a Bandcamp. That's the one thing we got. We're on Spotify, Apple Tunes, whatever you call it.
Okay.
Just you have to search up 69 minutes of music.
69
and
minutes of music by DRON. Everyone,
We're actually
check it out.
going in the studio to remaster, remix, and then we're gonna put a video out here in the next month.
Hell yeah.
Yours.
Those are my mom's. I think.
Phil Collins in there.
My mom might have Foghat. So anyway, we're going to say peace out from Dearborn, Michigan. We're in my mom's basement. This is SUPcast.
SUPcast.
We got Ron here. Check out DRON, and we love you very much. And
Love you.
I'm really glad you were able to come down here and
I'm really glad.
rub your facial hair on my face.
Hey, thank you for having me, Nebo.
Anytime, my
You
bro.
have a great day, brother.
I will.
Have fun at the rap show.
Thank you for coming.
Hey, anytime.
Thank you goes a long way. Remember, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.